Hi, Meera. Hey, you have some good information in this draft. I thought it would really help if I simply made a video of my feedback and my comments, and hopefully I will speak clearly and I will make sense as I try to explain and give you some advice on this. Like I said, this is your rough draft over here, and I also have pulled up your outline that you turned in several days ago. So in your rough draft, there's some good information. You've gathered some good sources. Okay. The main problem I see happening is each of the paragraphs contain so much different information that it's kind of difficult to read. Okay. It's kind of difficult for the reader to make sense of the points being made in each of the paragraphs because each of the paragraphs bring in information and content from sources that are talking about different aspects rather than the same aspect as each paragraph should focus on. And so that's why I bring in your outline, because that outline is such a great plan that I'm going to suggest that you follow your outline. Okay. The first thing with the title, I'm sorry, with the introduction, it looks like you open the very first sentence you open with comes across as a thesis statement, a very specific claim. And so um, if you think back on our class activity on writing effective introductions, and if you look at the handouts that I gave you and that are in our modules, our Canvas modules on writing effective introductions and writing effective conclusions, remember that the opening should be more broad. You're inviting the reader into the context of your paper so that they have a chance to acclimate, so they have a chance to get to know kind of the more broad context before the introduction guides them to the really specific thesis. And so remember, we talk about the metaphor of using a bridge or a wide door to invite your reader in. And this topic that you have is such a good topic about music therapy and cancer. And so music therapy and cancer, those are two different broad doorways that you can invite the reader through. So you could open with a more broad statement on music therapy or on music in general. Okay, what music, how music helps us, how we often think of music as just simply for enjoyment or entertainment. Or you can also choose to open with something about illness or cancer. Okay, but you would start more broad and kind of talk about, let's say, music, and then mention how, not many people know. Remember our surprise reversal that we talked about and practiced in class. A lot of people use music for entertainment. They really appreciate music. They recognize that it helps them feel better. However, not many people know how it can be used in therapy, how it can be used with people with serious illnesses. And then you will get into your thesis that states, music therapy has been used for cancer patients, and it has been shown to do A, B, C, and D, different things. And so that's why I bring up your outline, because you have the makings of a good thesis just in your outline. And so if you look here, now a lot of this outline I recognize has been copied and pasted from sources. It's not your original work, like this whole introduction. So make sure that you write, your original points. But if you go and look into the points that you are planning on making, okay? So in your body, you have point one, you're going to share what music therapy is. So you've kind of already done that, but your thesis can point out music therapy helps cancer in a holistic way. Let's go point two. It can also be used to alleviate pain, ease, the side effects, and strengthen the immune system. Granted, this has been copied from a source, so you would need to word it in your own words. It can also, and its effect as a nursing intervention, I don't know what that means. You would have to put that in your own words rather than in a peer-reviewed article's words. But use your points that you have located in your outline and kind of use those points as your thesis. Okay, these are the interesting things that music therapy can do for cancer patients. Okay, and then for each of these bodies, like you have here in your plan, the first body paragraph maybe focus on what music therapy is. Define it for your reader. Unless you want to do that in your introduction, you can also do that in your introduction. And if you do that in your introduction, then go right to, where am I? Right to your second point. Okay. So you would have a whole paragraph that only focuses on how music therapy is a holistic treatment, what that means and how that is helpful. That whole paragraph, don't bring anything else into that paragraph except information on how music therapy is holistic. And then you transition into the next point, which would be how it is used to alleviate pain. Okay, focus on all of the ways that music therapy can help with physical symptoms of cancer. Okay, then you'll go down here and you'll explain what you mean by nursing intervention. And you'll have that third paragraph, or two, maybe each of these would be two paragraphs if you really want to write a lot about them. But this third section would be all about what is meant by nursing intervention and how music therapy can work as this type of intervention. Okay, but the main thing, and then get into the conclusion, but the main thing, make sure you open each paragraph of your body with a topic sentence that tells your reader exactly what interesting point of information that paragraph is going to focus on, and then explain to them or inform them of the things that you learned concerning that point of interest, right? And then move on to the next one. Okay. And that will allow, so right here you have, there's some interesting things, but there's no order. It's just kind of chaotic. And so it's really hard for the reader to follow along. So go back and use your outline and follow the plan that you shared in your outline, because that's a great plan. Again, the only thing you need to realize is that you want to use your own words to make your points first, and then turn to the sources to back up your points. Don't just cut and paste information from sources. Okay. But I think that would really help, because you do, I say it again and again, you have good points here. They just have to be organized in a way that the reader can follow along and not get confused. Okay. Let me know if you have any more questions. Okay, Meera, and I'll be in my office next Tuesday and Wednesday, at least Tuesday, if that works for you, if you want to come in and talk about this. Okay.